Friends, very good afternoon to everyone. Really very happy to have Ms. Preetha Priyadarsini Naidu with us today as the guest speaker, and all the distinguished colleagues, friends, faculty members, and the professionals from various industries are also joining the session here live as well as other social media. A very good afternoon to one and all. Before I introduce the guest of the day, I would like to introduce or say a few things about the Association of Indian Management Schools. Friends, in the management education, 27th August 1988 should be remembered as a great landmark, as it was on this day the Association of Indian Management Schools AIMS, a highly impacting networking body, was born. It has the strong support of about more than 550 high-ranking business schools as its members and is one of the largest networking bodies in the world. It is an umbrella organization for the management institutions. AIMS has been involved in protecting the interests of management institutions from the restrictive regulations, the professionalization of management education, creation and dissemination of management-related knowledge through its various activities like roundtables, seminars, workshops, both national and international level, publication and distribution of AIMS Journal of Management, funding for research projects, and providing financial assistance to its member institutions. Of late, there has been a spurt in diversifying into new activities for the benefit of the deans, directors, researchers, faculty members, and students in the shape of inspiring young leaders and knowledge-sharing sessions, at least one each every week. These new initiatives are fascinating to many faculty and young minds of the students. With this, I now would like to introduce the guest of the day. Friends, Preetha S. Priyadarsini Naidu. She is the secretary of Thambu Higher Secondary School, chairperson PSD Management Alumni Association, founder and Managing Director, Richmond Talent Solutions Private Limited, Founder CEO, Richmond Technologies, Director, Richmond Enterprises Private Limited. Friends, Preetha S. Priyadarsini Naidu is a wonderful professional with multi-skills. With a master's degree in international business from PSD Institute of Management, Preetha has so far recruited over 2 lakh candidates for MNCs across the country. She has also been instrumental in associating the ministries of neighboring countries to bring students to study in India. Close to 1,000 students have been brought to India from neighboring countries for studying in various courses and programs. Ms. Preetha was born to Mr. Sampath Kumar and Ms. Chitra on 13th March 1982 in Coimbatore. She belongs to a business family and is now happily married to Mr. Hari Prakash, who is heading R&D at a multinational in Coimbatore. They are blessed with 2 daughters, and Preetha completed a schooling at Staines Higher Secondary School, Coimbatore. During her school days, she developed an obsessive interest in business, culminating in her getting her master's degree in international business. Though she was offered a quite lucrative jobs, she joined logistics company by name K&N in order to get some industry exposure. She took intensive training in Chennai and Delhi in 2004. While doing her post-graduation, with the help of her father, she started a small company in the name of Richmond Technologies for recruitment with just 1 employee. Now, her company is well established over 100 clients in India and abroad. In 2009, Richmond Technologies associated itself with the ministries of neighboring countries for educating sponsored students in Indian academic institutions. After edging herself in the recruitment industry and study in India industry, Preetha dedicated herself for the development of the students in the urban and rural community by conducting various workshops and seminars. Personality development and motivational exercises for students, Preetha headed an initiative called Thalir for CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, through the Young Indians wing, through which she has impacted the lives of over 1 lakh children across the country. It's a wonderful milestone. Ms. Preetha can very proudly claim that she is a self-made entrepreneur. She is also director of Richmond Enterprises, which supplies electrical components to General Electric and to the Indian Railways. And the major achievements of Preetha are the Best Outgoing Student Award by PhD College of Arts and Science for the year 2022. And she has been honored with the Proficiency Award for the academic year 2022 for excellence in the academic field. And she is also won the Pride of the Pride Award, which was honored upon her by the Rotaract Club of the Best Personality in the year 2000. These are all very few accolades and achievements of Ms. Preetha. I'm sure with the dynamism and the professionalism and basically, as he said, 100% ethical, moral, and value-based system she's following. With this, definitely she can achieve her career ambitions very, very quickly. Let us hope that she will do it very well. Thank you, Preetha, for accepting our invitation to address the students today on the, reducing the gap. Many students think that, the college education is the foundation for job, but they can do so many things along with their studies so that they can minimize the gap between the industry and academic institutions and academics. Recently, I think 2 years back, I read somewhere that one of the research studies revealed that 93% or 97% students are not employable and 65% of employees are not retainable. I think that is still a valid statement that finding many people are quoting, and I'm also agreeing with them. I think this is the time for all of us to rethink and rededicate ourselves for enhancing the skills. And this session will definitely help all the audience to think beyond and make them understand better. Thank you once again, Preetha ji, for accepting the invitation and giving your time for sharing your thoughts. Thank you once again. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm honored about what all you said, and I'm glad to be here. And I appreciate taking this time off and connecting with me today. Thank you very much. Is the screen visible, Doctor?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm glad to be here, students, professors, and industry experts to speak about closing the gap, why your college education is just beginning in your career. So today I hope in helping all of you unlock the true potential of your education. So let's dive deep in. So in today's rapidly changing job market, a college education is definitely not enough to guarantee success. So today we'll have, I'm sure all of you are muted, so it may not be possible for all of you to respond through voice, but I really appreciate if when I ask questions that you respond by chat, so we can try and make it slightly interactive. So why do you think that in today's job market, just having a degree or studying in college will not be sufficient? Can I have some answers? Because we need soft skills. Okay, more. We need continuous updates. Great. Okay, somebody says in recent times, educational institutions in country have come up as mushroom. Okay, competing with QS ranks, academic reputation. Okay, but why is it not enough for us to be employable is my question. We're not talking about colleges. Okay, I thank you so much for the answers. Let's go ahead and see what's in store next. So, what is the current state of the job market? Our job market today is extremely competitive, which means that for every position a company has requirements, we have multiple hundreds of profiles coming in. And the employers, unlike earlier, are not looking at just accountants or engineers. They're looking at a diverse set of skills from each employee that they employ. So the job market is not only incredibly competitive, but the pace of technological innovation and the transformation that's happening in the job market is becoming employability very difficult. So the issue is not just for the employees or people who are looking for a job, but the problem as a whole is even for the employers, because they are not also able to find the right candidate to match the job that they are looking for. And not to mention the automation, artificial intelligence, robotics are all replacing jobs. Of course, there are people who are skilled in these technologies who are also getting employed quicker than the other positions, but these are replacing a lot of jobs. So the students, it is very essential that you students continually develop your new skills if you really want to remain competitive in this ever-changing job market. So our topic is about skill gap. So let's see what a skill gap is. Can someone tell me what a skill gap is? I'm looking for answers. What do you mean by a skill gap? Difference between theory and practical knowledge. Okay. The massive technology-led disruptions in the education sector are compelling both individuals and institutions to respond adaptively. Oh, big answer. Okay. Others? Few more. We'll wait for 2 more responses. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So many of you are right. Very well said. Skill gap is very simple. It's nothing but a difference between what the employee need and the candidate has. It's employer need. So what a company is looking for a candidate is different from what the candidates actually have. So the gap between the expectation on what is there in the market is called a skill gap. So next question. Why do we have a skill gap? What do you think is the reason that there is a skill gap? We'll wait for 4 answers. College? Okay. Three more answers and we'll get in. We think we don't need more skills. Okay. Okay. You mean the students think that they're all up to date and they don't need any more skills. Okay. The syllabus is not updated. Very well said. We lack in updates in developing environment, having degree but not skill. Yeah, this is a very important point that I wanted to highlight. Having a degree but not a skill. So literally all of us, many of us coming out of colleges are skilled, unskilled labor. You get what I mean to say? Because we seem to have studied a lot in the college, but we still are unskilled to perform most of the tasks. So coming to the question, why skill gap? So the skill gap can occur due to a variety of reasons. It could be because of changes in the technology. It could be because of the changes in job market, and it could be changes in the economy due to globalization and maybe due to automation as well. So, what are the effects of skill gap? What do you think will happen if skill gap persists? 4 answers. Unemployed, yeah, most definitely yes. Unemployed. What else? Three more different answers. You need no proper growth. Yes, fantastic. Very well said. Correct. The employee will not be able to stay for too long, lack in motivation, efficiency on outcome, unable to cope with the market. Fantastic. We have a set of great audience here today. So the effects of skill gap, like you rightly said, if you're not able to close the skill gap, it can have several negative consequences. So one is decreased productivity, unemployment. The job seekers who do not have the skills that are in demand may be struggling for to find employment. So today we have so many engineers, we have so many MBAs, but are they actually finding the right place to work? Is a big question. Are we finding the right place to work, audience? No. Yes. No. I'll wait for some more answers. Yes. Okay. So a statistical analysis says that about 85% of people who are employed are not employed as they expected to be employed, which means that you may be a BE graduate, you may be an MBA, you may be a BCom graduate, but you are ending up working somewhere, but not working in the appropriate field that you are working. So this call center boom started in about 2004, 2005, when I started my recruitment consultancy. And you would notice that, literally anybody who speaks English would be picked up by the call centers. So we thought, okay, it is just a boom, it's a bubble, it would break, and people would stop going to call centers and start taking jobs for which they studied. But no, to our shocking, we were shocked that even today, we have candidates applying for call center jobs, data entry jobs, and these are people who have spent 5 or 6 precious years of their lives in studying MBA or BE or you name the course, law. Even you have lawyers, who apply for call center jobs or tech support jobs. So why is all this happening? So this is what we call as the skill gap. You study something, but you end up doing something else which is unrelated because perhaps you don't have that skills to get you a job in which you have specialized in. So unemployment will be the first big hit, which is already a big hit because of the skill gap. Low job satisfaction, like somebody rightly pointed out, you will be in a job, you will be earning money, but you'll never be happy because that's not what you wanted to do. When you wanted to do, say, BTech in biotechnology and you wanted to go into research, but you end up working in a dry lab. You work night shifts, you work in a dry lab, you work on data related to biotechnology. That's not going to make you happy, is it? So, low job satisfaction, you will have money to spend, you will have a great job, but end of the day, you will not be happy with what you're doing. So, employees who feel underqualified or lacking in skills may be unhappy in their job, and it'll not only end up in they being unhappy in their jobs and dissatisfied, but there'll be a high turnover rate because they're constantly looking to switch to find something of their satisfaction. And like we discussed, it's going to decrease productivity when workforce lacks the necessary skills. they may be less productive because they are not doing what they've been trained to do or what they wanted to do. And there'll be a stagnation. So this skill gap is not only going to affect the employee, which is you, but it is also going to affect the employer. Because end of the day, if you are not happy in your job, definitely you're not going to do your job well, which means that he or she is not going to get the necessary productivity. So there's going to be a big stagnation, and the market demand will risk falling behind to their competitors. So this is what potentially could happen if there is a skill gap. So going on to the next slide. So what is college education? Let's see, what do you want to talk? You can talk anything about college education. So what do you think about college education? Can we have some answers? Nowadays, just a degree, okay. That's Dr. Hemalata. Something which brings professionalism, okay. We get to know the mentality of people, all right. Okay, everything is a matrix. Rather than we spending our precious years in studying college, if we work on ourselves, we can find out our strengths and weakness, okay. Can I wait for a few more answers? Learning by doing, namesake. Okay. So do you think college education is necessary? College education is nothing but theory aligned with new requirements. Okay, so do you need college education? The answers are yes, indeed, no, yes, yes. Okay. Okay. All right. So here is my perspective about college education. So college is important, and it does teach us a lot of valuable skills. It is a foundation for your life, for your career. So while your college education is the critical first step, it is only the beginning of the journey towards closing the skill gap, like we said. So what is important about college education? College education cannot be totally avoided. If somebody thinks that no, without college education, I'll just have necessary exposure experience, you may be able to initially do something in your career, but in a long run, college education is very, very important because it promotes critical thinking and it helps in problem solving capabilities. Every day that you spend, every assignment you do, every project that you do in a college gives you an experience, gives you an exposure. And you also learn how to, after school, you were kids in school, you were a little grown up in college. So it is only in college that you get to actually understand people around you, get to understand the various phases of a career. So college education is definitely very, very crucial. However, like many of you said, college does not give us practical experience. And again, our education system, at least so far, and we hope it becomes better, there is an inability to keep up with the rapidly changing technologies. Technologies are changing every day, right? I mean, today we have Chat GPT, which could write an assignment for you. So various governments are looking at ways of banning Chat GPT. So the colleges are not able to keep in touch with rapidly changing technologies. And we also find that continuous learning and development is missing in many colleges. Of course, there are a lot of colleges which do consider all these points. For example, when I was studying my master's in PSG, our day used to start at 6:30 in the morning, and it wouldn't end until say 9:30 in the night. Reason being, we had a yoga at 6:30 in the morning, followed by classes. We had assignments, we had projects, we had presentations. mean, way back in 2002, when a PPT presentation was a big deal, we were one of the few colleges who actually were trained on making PPT presentations. And it was a wonderful experience. I mean, we were thinking, why is the college ringing us like this? I mean, we don't even have time to eat and sleep. But trust me, guys, when I got out of college and got into a competitive environment, I did have that mettle to handle any stressful environment. So I do see that a lot of colleges have a 9 or 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock culture these days. That's not going to help. I mean, colleges, yes, it can end at 3 o'clock, but it is up to you guys to stay back in college, do your work, do extra activities, which probably I'll come back to. But like I said, if you want to do a 10 to 3 college or 10 to 4 college, I don't think your skill gap is ever going to reduce. So, though this is only the first step to truly succeed in your job, if you really want to, you need to continuously develop your skills. And you have to keep doing that, just not while studying, but throughout your career. For instance, let's take, for example, an engineering graduate may have theoretical understanding of robotics, but they don't have a practical knowledge. So they know what robotics is. But if you give a robot hand, will he or she be able to do anything? No. So it is up to the student also to put in that extra effort to understand, to gain some hands-on knowledge. Colleges could also support in that context. So going on, next question, or this is a slide by itself. What are the strategies for closing the skill gap? So I'm suggesting 3 strategies. There could be plenty. So these strategies are upskilling, reskilling, and lifelong learning. So let's see who knows what upskilling is. What is upskilling? Somebody says revisiting the knowledge gap theory, learn, relearn, and unlearn to flourish in the age of disruptions and innovations where we from campus to corporate. Fantastic. Can we have answers on what is upskilling? Get next level skill set. Fantastic. Giving the projects which are practical in nature can relate with what's going on currently. Okay, this is an opportunity to upskill staff and expand. Okay, what is upskill? Can we get answers on what upskilling means? Don't ask ChatGPT, guys. Upgrading, yes. Updating the skills. Upgrading, right. So like a lot of you all have rightly said, upskilling means acquiring new skills or improving on your existing skills to enhance your existing job. For example, you're in one job, you are doing something to upskill yourself or learn something new related to that job or related to a new job which is in the same vertical or industry. So upskilling is very, very important once you enter your career, because unless you learn, next level, technology in wherever you are never going to go up your career scale. So then what is reskilling? Both sound very similar. If upskilling means acquiring new skills, what is reskilling? To train, put them in high grade. Grooming existing skills is upskilling. Polishing existing skills is also upskilling. New skills for different job to employee, okay. More answers, please. Embracing new skills, learning new skills. Fantastic. A lot of you have the right answer. So when upskilling means in your existing field, you are learning new things. Reskilling means you decide to switch your skill. For example, a skill is gone it is outdated. You don't have many jobs in that skill. So then what you do, you reskill, which means that you acquire new skills or you decide to change your career path to adapt to whatever changes is coming in the job market. So reskilling is also very important because it involves learning new skills, and it's very, very essential. So what is lifelong learning? What do you mean by lifelong? Fantastic. Knowledge is never limited. Being competent, learn forever. Yes. As the name suggests, lifelong learning is a much wider, broader concept, which means there is continuous acquisition of knowledge and skills throughout your life. And it does not stop with your age or which career stage you are. And you might be a manager, you can be a general manager, but you still keep on learning. And you learn different skills, you learn same skills, it doesn't matter, but it's a lifelong process, and it is used to also transition to new career options. So these three skills strategies are very, very essential for closing a skill gap. Now, so how do you now close the skill gap? We've seen what a skill gap is. What are the strategies? But how will you actually, as college students or professors, how do you think we can close the skill gap? What are the various ways with which you can actually close the skill gap? Practical knowledge, yes. Seminars, workshops. Embracing new pedagogical innovation. Work on live projects, professional courses, learning deeply, fantastic. Few more, because there are so many. Okay, are we expecting more answers? Proper coaching, case study. Okay, all right. So here are some ways in which you can actually close the skill gap. Workshops and conferences, like somebody said, there are a lot of professional development programs. You can do internship. So when we talk about internship, I keep emphasizing, I happen to be the president of PSG's Management Alumni Association. And I keep emphasizing to the students there that internship is so very important for every student. Because when you are on internship, you actually get to see what the company does. And you get to be with the employees. Many colleges do offer internship programs during their course. But do you know that a lot of students these days go voluntarily for internship? So it does not have to be a credit in your college. It does not be necessary. It is not necessary that you need to get marks out of it. But when you do have your holidays or semester breaks, it is very good if you can go on for internships. Be it a small company or a big company, does not matter at all. Even a 10-member company, if you can go and take internship, it is gold mine, guys. So internship is something that is very, very essential, and I would really encourage all of you to take up some sort of internship. Again, there is something called mentorship from industry experts. Can somebody tell me what you understand by mentorship? What is mentorship? Who can be your mentor? How do you get mentorship? Andrew Tate, okay. So how do you get mentorship from Andrew Tate? Getting guidance from industry, experiential learning, a person who has great knowledge in the field. So for professors who are here or college management, if anybody is there, I would encourage you to reach out to your alumnus and ask them to take few students each as their mentees. Because I'm sure all of your alumni would be in great positions now. And if they can take at least 4 or 5 students under their mentorship, let the students just be under a mentor. It is going to make a lot of difference in the student's career. So mentorship does not have to be from a Cognizant or a Dell or a Bosch. It can be even from smaller companies. Somebody who has a good exposure in their field and who has been in the industry for say 10, 15 years would be great mentors, because they would have had that exposure in their career from which they will be able to teach you a lot of things. So how we can close the skill gap? Mentorship is again a great way. And like internship, on-the-job training is also a wonderful way to close the skill gap. And of course, industrial training. All these go hand in hand: internship, on-the-job training, industrial training. All of them are very similar. Don't wait for colleges to take effort for this. You guys can go out into the market and say, I'm willing to be an intern. Or you can go to your professors, tell them, please connect me to somebody who can give me internship. And again, coming to internship, a lot of students I notice these days, first thing they ask is, what is the stipend that you give me? Guys, understand that here you are looking forward to knowledge. So don't look forward to stipend. Company will provide you some sort of stipend. But if that is your motive, then the company wouldn't be interested. So you should look at companies for internship or for on-the-job training without any expectation from the company on a financial side. Look at the knowledge that you are going to get. Look at the career that you are going to have. This will immensely help you in your placements, and it will help you throughout your career. So these are certain ways on how we can close the skill gap. So going on to the next slide, what are the advantages of closing the skill gap? I'm sure you would say career growth, job, but besides career growth and job, what else do you think? Multiplying money, okay? Getting more opportunities, yeah. More answers. What else? Proper guidance, okay. Employability, better lifestyle development. So tell me, skill gap, who all does a skill gap impact? If it is advantageous to who? Who will get benefited out of bridging the skill gap? Employees, okay. Both employer and employee, very rightly said. Both employer and employee. And the industry, yes, fantastic. We have brilliant people out here. So closing the skill gap is essential not only to you as students or employees, but it is also very important for the employer and for the industry and for the economy as a whole. So for job seekers, which is students or job applicants, it means having the skills that are in demand. You know what the market wants and you have that. So you get better job opportunities, you get higher salaries, and there is job security also, because you know what the market wants, you are up to date. So you have a secure job. Nobody is going to take you away from the job. For employer, how is it important? Because it helps them in having a skilled workforce, which means that their productivity will improve and their efficiency will improve and there will be more innovation. So only when there is somebody good at the job and who's already performing well can there be innovation. So if the employee is already struggling to perform because of a skill gap, how will they have productivity and how will innovation happen? So for the employee here also, it is extremely important to have employees who don't have a skill gap. And in addition to that, closing the skill gap is very important for the entire economic growth of the country, as it helps that the workforce is equipped with the new skills, whatever in-demand skills. Only if the workforce is equipped will the country be able to grow, and it'll help the country compete globally. So if this country has to compete, if India has to compete with the US, or if it has to compete with China, unless it has that kind of a technology or that kind of a workforce that is fully prepared, how will it be able to globally compete? So closing this skill gap is important for the market, for your college education, for the employers, and it is going to help you throughout your career. And it's not only going to help monetarily, but you will be more satisfied and you'll have a more fulfilling career. So what else? Have I missed out on anything? Increased employability, career advancement, greater adaptability. Why would you be able to adapt well? Because you know what is in trend. You are already working in the present demand. So you can adapt to newer technologies. You can adapt to newer ways of working, and it will also help in your personal growth. So these are some of the advantages, and with this we come to an end of this session, and I hope in some small way I will be able to help you unlock your full potential with this session on skill gap. We have any questions to take? I can take questions.
Yeah, most of the participants are complementing simultaneously, and they are also supplementing a lot of information. And I'm very happy to see there are so many, professionals, Dr. Nagarjuna, Dr. Guruna, Dr. Ashalata, Jalaja, Dr. Bharat, wonderful participation from the, participants. I'm seeing overwhelming responsibility from the participants, and also they are supplementing the information. Very happy to see. Yeah, Professor Narayan Reddy Garu also is there. And Madam.
Yes, sir.
The new education policy, the national education policy, is also focusing on the experiential learning, experimental learning, and also lifelong learning. And of course, the diversity across the geographies, the functional areas, the subjects, courses, programs, and everything is given to the students opportunity to excel, to grow, and to get exposure. I'm sure the academic institutions also doing their best, but it is not possible to provide everything to a student, because they can provide opportunities, but they cannot provide complete skills in a particular area, because they look at the macro, gross level, micro level, the students have to equip themselves with all the skills required. That's the reason why there is, 40% credits the students can earn on their own through online programs. Even today, the experiential learning is possible through, the e-learning. There are so many, modules, so many websites, so many edutech companies are providing experiential learning opportunities online. Simulations, scenario analysis, some projects, virtual projects. They are all giving wonderful opportunity for experiential learning, apart from the regular, the college, the real classroom teaching. Of course, there are so many teaching pedagogies also.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm saying that it is very important that the student also understands the importance of filling the skill gap.
Yes.
The professors, college, management can alone not, achieve this. It is the student's thirst for knowledge also that is very important in filling this gap.
Wonderful. Let us see any questions. Friends, if you have anything, please ask the questions in chat box so that I can request the speaker to give some kind of yarn or to clarify such kind of doubts. So many people are saying that the excellent inputs, innovative, the supplementing, the industry, what is that expecting, how the students can equip themselves with all the required skills, and upskilling, reskilling, and also lifelong learning. Great, concepts you could, insist. It is actually revisiting the new education policy I'm understanding, from your session. Of course, another suggestion from Dr. Nagarjuna that we need to invest a lot on people skills that are very, very important, because the organizations also should become learning organizations, not simply extracting whatever is there from the employees, right? Yeah, right. Please, can you share how to make the organization more learning?
Sir, if I may highlight a point here, the employees are as much deprived of skilled manpower as the employees are looking for jobs.
Exactly.
So one of my clients, it's a huge multinational having their offices across the world. So this company needs embedded engineers. Very simple. Okay, BE, EC or EEE students should be able to fulfill very basic embedded skills, but they're not able to recruit freshers. Reason being that they don't even have the basic skills. So they are forced to take these people, train them in the skills for 3 months, 6 months. So it is one loss of revenue for them. So imagine if the student has the skills that the company requires, and the student can do the job, say, from month 2 onwards, then imagine the kind of welcome the company would have for the student. So these students cannot only be dependent on college education. They need to go out. They need to go study. They need to explore. And there are a lot of organizations who offer skill education as well. In fact, I think our government itself gives us a lot of skill education. So the employers are also trying very hard to bridge this gap. So it's not that they are just employing somebody and stretching them. It's not so. It is also the employer that is suffering.
Exactly. And nowadays, the recent development in the industry, be it education, manufacturing, IT, whatever it is, the employees also are very choosy. They wish to join the organization where there is a lot of opportunities for learning. So right. Learning organizations are the need of the hour.
Exactly.
And particularly inventive learning is more important, because the problems are very, very novel, novice. For novel problems, we need real, solutions. And right. That is possible only through inventive education.
True.
So every institution should focus more on inventive education, I think.
Absolutely.
I think there are no questions, madam. Thank you so much for enlightening and also re-insisting and reinforcing on the major reasons for skill gap and how to bridge that kind of skill gaps, and the advantages, why every institution along with the employees or employers to try to reduce the gap, how they can make the organization more interesting and exciting and also growing, because growth is important. Development of the employees is very important, and along with providing opportunities. Thank you so much for providing wonderful inputs. And this is a very unique session. In fact, you made all the participants very active. While asking questions, most of them are very active on sharing their inputs on the chat box. Of course, so many responses we received, and this session can be viewed again and again, because this is a recorded, is available on AIMS website also, and this can be viewed several times. Thank you once again, all the participants, and I am grateful to Ms. Preetha, Preeyadarsini, for sharing excellent views and making the session very, very interesting. Thank you so much, Preetha. Let us stay in touch and let us look for another opportunity possible to meet again. And I also appreciate the participation and all the participants for very, very active participation and making the session very, interactive. It is real, not physical interaction, but a lot of virtual interaction, but giving a feeling of, real interaction. Thank you so much, audience. And I thank Dr. Sunil, and I thank the Secretariat, Professor Venkateshwarlu and his team, the Honorable President of AIMS, Professor Ramaswamy Nandagopal, the Vice President, the Southern Region, Professor Narayan Reddy, and all the executive board members, faculty members, and member institutions taking active role in this. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, Preetha, Priyadarsini, Naidu. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.